The Dambuster Raid was a turning point in World War II, from the fact that it created technological advancements to crippling Nazi infrastructure and industry in the Ruhr. It had saved thousands of lives from being lost to German militarism. The Dambusters broke barriers in the world of aviation and science, and without this mission, Hitler would have been able to create the Second War further through the 20th century. The Dambuster Raid, or Operation Chastise, was a bombing operation carried out by the Royal Air Force over the Ruhr, the industrial heartland of Germany, on the night of May 16, 1943. It was intended to destroy German dams in the Ruhr as a means to slow down German Nazi production, which fueled Hitler's war machine. Dams that had been targeted during the operation were the Eder, Sorp, and Mohn dams. This operation had made way for an advancement in warfare technology, the bouncing bomb, made by Dr. Barnes Wallis.
Barnes Wallis was a notable aerospace scientist who contributed his mind to several military machines given to the British Air Force. He operated under Operation Chastise to aid in a way to destroy the Eder, Sorp, and Mohn dams. Before Barnes Wallis was assigned to Operation Chastise, the Royal Air Force debated about how to destroy the dams. Ideas mentioned in these debates include torpedoes, rockets, and normal bombs. These ideas soon narrowed down as Nazi Germany annexed France. An approved idea, however, was the bouncing bomb by Barnes Wallis. Barnes Wallis was asked to leave the operation by his superiors, continued to work on his bouncing bomb project through 1942 and 1943. He went through several variations of the bomb, including a spherical form, which was then changed to be a cylinder. Testing of the bomb took place on an abandoned dam in Wales with modified Lancaster heavy bombers.
When 617 Squadron took off from Scanton, an area near the south of England, to begin bombing runs over the Ruhr, the squadron had split into 3 different waves. The first wave, led by Guy Gibson, was sent to destroy the Mohn Dam, the largest dam out of the 3. The second and third wave targeted the Eder and Sorp. When reaching the European mainland, German anti-aircraft weapons fired upon the planes. Several Lancaster planes had taken critical damage or had been destroyed. Aircrew inside the Lancaster bombers had also experienced death and injuries due to shrapnel and bullets penetrating the Lancaster from the outside. Upon reaching the dams, multiple aircraft were able to successfully drop bombs. Other aircraft had missed or been destroyed when arriving to the dropping zone. Both the Eder and Sorp dams had been destroyed, and the Mohn had been breached. When Barnes Wallis first thought of his bouncing bomb and released the idea to the RAF at the time was not able to obtain a bomber that could carry the load that the bouncing bomb required. When the Lancaster bomber, a heavy night bomber which was capable of carrying the bouncing bomb, was created and put into production in Britain, Barnes Wallis chose this aircraft to be used in the Dambuster raids because of its carrying capacity. The squadron assigned to carrying out the mission over the Ruhr was 617 Squadron. 617 Squadron was led by Wing Commander Guy Gibson and was composed of 19 modified Lancaster aircraft. Modifications to the aircraft include special lighting that aided the aircrew in seeing where the bomb would drop. Another modification added were small poles that designated how far the bombs would travel and their direction. Although the pilots and aircrew had special tools to help them with dropping the bombs correctly, it was very difficult to. Dropping the bouncing bombs required pilots to fly very low and at about 60 feet and fly at 280 miles per hour, which left the aircraft vulnerable to German anti-aircraft weapons.
When the bouncing bomb was ready to drop from an aircraft, it would be spinning very rapidly due to the bomb's special attachment to the plane. At the right conditions, the bomb would fall from the aircraft into a body of water, and the bomb, spinning rapidly, would skip across the water, just like a stone, and sink near the weakest area of the target dam. because it was made to ignite and explode at the same time. The bomb had sunk far enough to damage the most vulnerable point of the dam. The entire structure would be destroyed or breached from structural instability.
When 617 Squadron took off from Scanton, an area near the south of England, to begin bombing runs over the Ruhr, the squadron had split into 3 different waves. The first wave, led by Guy Gibson, was sent to destroy the Mon Dam, the largest dam out of the 3. The second and third wave targeted the Eder and Sorp. When reaching the European mainland, German anti-aircraft weapons fired upon the planes. Several Lancaster planes had taken critical damage or had been destroyed. Aircrew inside the Lancaster bombers had also experienced death and injuries due to shrapnel and bullets penetrating the Lancaster from the outside. Upon reaching the dams, multiple aircraft were able to successfully drop bombs. Other aircraft had missed or been destroyed when arriving to the dropping zone. Both the Eder and Sorp dams had been destroyed and the Mon had been breached.
Immediately after the dams were breached, major flooding affected the area. Several factories, telephone wires, military bunkers, and towns were left in ruins because of the amount of water that had been released. Because of the flooding, there was a severe disturbance in the German industry within the war, which was the main goal of the mission. German production of coal in the Ruhr fell by 60% after the operation. Dambuster raids shattered barriers in technology and aviation, with Barnes Wallis' genius invention of the bouncing bomb and the challenge of dropping the bouncing bomb at the perfect conditions. The operation stopped what could have been a greater threat to Europe without the crippling of Hitler's industrial base to create deadly Nazi machines of war.